Yo, what it do? It's your boy No Stain No Game here, or whatever my YouTube name gonna be. I still ain't made one yet, cause I'm making this before I made my channel. Anyways, y'all probably got me from TikTok, Instagram. That's where I'm mainly gonna be promoting my junk from. But yeah, like I said, I was gonna do this before. I'm gonna be ranking these Big Four anime arcs. I don't care if there's no such thing as the Big Four. Y'all ain't the dictionary police, so I'm gonna call it the Big Four if I want to call it the Big Four. Anyways, yeah, I got these in no order. I mean, order by arc. Anime wise, it's just scattered around in whatever order it is. And I'm gonna put timestamps in the description if y'all like ain't seen the anime, or if y'all just like don't want to hear about it or something like that, so y'all can just jump and skip past the anime. Basically, is what I'm saying. But I mean, it's pretty obvious the order. Like you can see it yourself. Anyways, yeah. The way I got the tier set up is basically perfect, which is just there's nothing really wrong with the arc. I mean, it might be personal preferences, like who should have won a certain fighter. BS like that. Good is where it's like, even if it's okay writing or mid somewhere in that arc, something just carries that arc to that tier. Like either fights, some moments, or something. Hunter the mid tier is basically like something I wouldn't recommend to anybody, but I mean I would watch it. I would sit and watch it. I mean, it's not just completely trash, but it's not very good. Watchable is like it's basically trash. It's boring. Like I would skip through it maybe. At most, I would skip through it like for a fight or something like that. But Fairy Tail is just where I just skip it completely. I wouldn't even watch it. I wouldn't even acknowledge its existence. If somebody brought up the arc, I wouldn't even be able to tell them a single thing about the arc or even where it's from. But anyways, let's get in this. I ain't gonna go in depth on every arc, but yeah, starting with Naruto, Land of Waves, I put in good. The only reason this only in good is because like Zabuza himself, he was a relevant character. I'm not gonna base it off of stuff that happened later in the series, but it's just even at that point, he didn't really matter to the series. He was just a one-off character. He just didn't matter. It's just he just didn't fit for them. Like he had nothing to do with Naruto, nothing to do with any of the characters there. He was just there to be there, and it was just kind of weird. I got these in kind of a weird order, but yeah, I split the tuning exams up with the Orochimaru BS because I put this in perfect and I put this in fairy tale because Orochimaru was just there for Sasuke development. Everything involving him was just Sasuke development BS. He did not matter. His junk was just so boring because you just knew nothing was gonna happen. Yeah, he killed the Kage, so what? He did nothing with that. Like, come on. And this right here is like I said, there's certain fights maybe I would switch around and BS like that, but overall, just the Chunin exams itself, the fights that happened with them, good. Trash because Tsunade is a trash character. Watchable because the Jiraiya Itachi junk, I guess, that was the only interesting piece. Some little junk like Itachi himself, even though I think Itachi is overrated, I say that piece is okay. Am I missing one? Nah. Cause I basically mixed this up with the Sasuke retrieval junk. Basically, all of it I threw in one. I put this in good too. I mean, it's like not really much to say about that. The whole idea of them trying to say Sasuke, since I'm not basing this off the later arcs, I'm just basing it off of this first time. Them trying to bring Sasuke back. That's I'm basing it off of fresh jump basically, and I put it in good. I put it in good because the fight itself was good too and all that. Sasuke, I mean Guard booty rape arc. Put that at the bottom. I mean, it was. I guess Sakura's fight was enough to bring it to the top. I love that fight, Sakura versus Sasori. That junk was definitely cold. This one, same thing. The Shikamaru fight carried it. The Naruto junk going on in both of these arcs was really nothing. This is basically all the Sasuke junk from the Itachi fight to the start of Shippuden. I put it in perfect. Even though Itachi was a stupid character, the stuff that he did not have to do. There was ways around it. I'm not basing it off of that because that's like all random flashback junk that we've been had. But I'm just basing off of Sasuke-ness himself, and I will put it in perfect, even though he hacked through all of the fights. But I put this just in good. I mean, the Naruto fight itself carried it all the way to this tier, and the dry stuff. But in between, there was so much boringness going on in this arc, so much stupidness. Like all BS. They wrote Guy out of this arc because they knew what he would have did to Pain. Yamato. It's like a lot of them that could have just writing BS, just for development. Like I said, that's how most Naruto arcs is written, just the development, just to develop Naruto and Sasuke. If it ain't developing them two, it's gonna be some BS. 5K Summit, it was another one Sasuke kind of hacked his way through, like, abusing his Sharingan and still was able to fight Kakashi and Naruto at the end. BS, but I mean, plot holes along. I mean, plot holes away. I mean, good, I guess. I guess. War, War is like mid. I guess I wouldn't say it's boring as those two arcs because it had way more interesting fights than just one. So I put it at Hunter x Hunter tier. Kaguya jump, stupid. It just didn't make any sense. Even the fight itself wasn't all that good. It was just a stupid idea, basically. Naruto and Sasuke fight. I just put that fight in a separate thing just to do that, just because those are two different things, and it did really feel like its own arc. Like even though it was just a fight, it felt like its own little arc. But yeah, now at Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z as a whole. Uh, mm, I put it at watching. I mean, it didn't really get good until the end. Kind of like most of these arcs right here didn't really get good until the end or just at one point, and that was really all Dragon Ball was. It was enjoyable, yeah, but watchable, yeah, basically watchable. Saiyan Saga was perfect. I put it with the Frieza Saga for the same reason. It's like everything in the arc just made sense and just worked. There was no boring points in the arc. Even when Goku wasn't there in both arcs, it was still interesting watching Gohan and Krillin fight. That's why I put them in the same thing, because it's like the same reason for both. Gohan and Krillin was kind of scrapping waiting for Goku to arrive, and they were good. This arc I will only put in just pure good because of because of the heart virus BS. That junk did not need to happen. There was 1,000 ways to do it, and they chose the wrong one. Boo arc, same thing. It was just little BS going on in that arc, but I mean the fights itself carried the arc to the top. But that's really it. This arc was just pure doo doo. I mean, nobody's really gonna debate me on this. It's the starter GT arc where they just flew around jacking each other off. This arc had potential to be like one of the best arcs with the idea. All of the GT arcs did, except for this one. They all had the potential, the ideas. Bringing 17 back, especially with how he is now, super bro. That junk could be cold. Tuffles, another cold idea, kind of like the Ceruleans, but or Cerealians, however you pronounce them. But yeah, this arc is a little bit better because it had a better concept and a better fights and jump. 17, they could have did that way better. Like I said, they could have did all of these way better. This is another one I put in good. Wouldn't put it in perfect. The idea of the Dragon Balls being the final villain of Dragon Ball, like, come on, bro, that should have been perfect. But they did it wrong. They flopped some of the characters. I did like how they did Nova Shenron 4-star. This and that. Mm, ah. Hunter x Hunter 2. I gotta put it there, and this one is just trash. This one, I mean, it was enjoyable, I guess, but it was just a big power gap. Everybody getting abused, and wasn't really nothing going on. This was just straight boring. I mean, Super Saiyan Blue was trash. All the characters in the movie was trash. Golden Free was the only good thing about the movie. This another Hunter x Hunter tier. I mean, same BS. I mean, they just threw in random characters that nobody cared about. I mean, Hit was okay and Kaba was okay, Frost was okay, but they was just done poorly. And the other two characters, they should have threw. It should have been a good 5-on-5. It should not have been Piccolo, Goku, and Vegeta and freaking Monaka, bro. My nappy senses are tingling right now, but yeah. There we go. That arc was trash. I mean, in the manga it was cold, but I wouldn't sit there and rewatch it for real. I mean, I would just skip through it for the fights. Like, come on, this is in the wrong spot. Tournament of Power, good. I mean, I want to base it off the manga because, like, I want to base it off of it. Yeah, I'm gonna base. If the manga did it better, then I'm gonna just base it off of that. I feel like that's the best way to do this. Jump. This arc wasn't that much different in the manga. It just had some colder moments. But this arc, it was perfect in the manga. I like the way they did it. I gotta base it off of the best form of it. Just like I'm basing this kind of off the movie and not the anime. And this, it was just trash either way, to be honest. But Moro, I mean, all we got is the manga for that one. But this one was definitely good. The sense of being junk kind of killed the vibe, but they kind of explained it wasn't the same as Cell. Like, I want Gohan to have a better fight. Nah, come on. They did it better than the Cell junk. All right, I'm feeling good about this. All right, now One Piece. One Piece. Yeah, I'm feeling straight with the way I got it set up right now. Now One Piece. I wasn't going to include these arcs. I was going to kind of mix them in with the Bratier arc, but I feel like that'd be wrong to kind of just cheat their way up to the top, because this arc was just, okay. This arc mid. This was just the Surf Village junk. I mean, I did like the villain, bro. That little behind the back attack and all the other little kooky junk going on. It was good. It was good. I like where it's at. These two, I put both of these in perfect because there was just not a single thing. They introduced everything like that we needed to know in this arc right here. It was just perfect. Mihawk and so much side junk going on that was just as good as the main junk going on. Like, I keep seeing something off the corner of my eye. This arc was perfect too. Even the side villains like the octopus dude and all them, like Nami. We finally learned who Nami is and what she been like. She just following them around. Like the arc, they both was perfect. Then we get to Log Town, which was just, you got Smoker and all that. I put it in mid just because of Smoker and all them. Buggy's a cool villain, but it wasn't enough to put it in good. This arc right here, I don't want to solely base it off of Chopper's story, but I mean, Wappo was trash. I mean, Wappo was just dookie. I gotta put it right there. Alabasta, I wouldn't put it in perfect because it did feel like it was dragging on at some points. And while I did like Mr. One and a couple of them other ones, they just wasn't enough to carry it to the top. Like, and then Luffy's plot armor in this arc. Come on, like I know every anime character has plot armor, but in this arc, bro. But it was still like, that's what I'm saying. So much stuff in this arc was good enough to put it right here, but I mean, it was some little BS going on. This arc, I mean, people will call it completely trash. I wouldn't say it's completely trash. Like the character himself, Enaru, or Enel, whichever one you call him. The character himself is a good character, but everything else that was going on in this arc just felt stupid. Just because of him, I put it in watch it. Just because. Not saying like the fight with him and all that wasn't all that cold, but just his character and his abilities and all that. Even the fight too. Like it was a funny fight. Like even the picture right here. Like it was a good fight. Then we got Water 7, easily perfect. Feels no need to explain that one. It was just not as, even though it was a huge arc, it was nothing boring about that arc. I sat there and watched through it multiple times, and not once did I feel bored. Thriller Bark, even further explaining this CP9 too. Like each member of CP9 was cold, but Thriller Bark, I put that in like the mid tier. It was like Moria kind of killed his whole. I know One Piece has weird character designs, but Moria himself was just I just didn't like him. He just didn't really fit. I get it was supposed to be some type of Halloween type theme story, but Moria, I just did not like him as a character. And then we got Sabaody. That was another mid arc. After Water 7, like Water 7 to Bratier, that was the peak parts of One Piece, peak piece of One Piece. Everything after that, and this is the only prison arc. Like One Piece has multiple prison arcs. Like a lot of anime has stuff like this, where it's just like the main character gets separated from the main group and stuff like that. One Piece is the only one I think that did it right. Because even in Impel, like the Wano version, the Wano prison arc was straight dookie, but this one was good. It ain't really much to say about Sabaody though. It was just like a okay arc, I guess. It was some cold moments in it, but not enough to drag it to the top. It was only the end. But why not Marineford? Even though I didn't like the end of Marineford, I'm not gonna. It was necessary for the story, I guess. Like Whitebeard was necessary for the story. Ace was, but I would put it in perfect. That's just my personal opinion because I like the character. Dressrosa is another one of them arcs that was just good at the end, and that's it. Yeah, just good at the end, and that's it. Fishman Island arc, I would never in my life recommend that arc to somebody. I did not. I think I only seen that arc once or twice, compared to the other arcs I've seen multiple times. Whole Cake Island was. I wouldn't even put it near that. Wano though, I mean it's still going on, but I mean it was better than Whole Cake Island. The prison arc kind of dragged it down, but this is another one good in the beginning, good in the end, but terrible in the middle. But yeah, nah, because like I said, these are mainly just good at the end, while this one was just good like in the beginning and the end. Bleach. Time for Bleach. What time? So it's gonna be like a 20-minute video. But Bleach, first arc, I would put it at mid. I mean, it wasn't really much going on in the arc. I mean, it was just him. We learned about so many characters in that little like span of episodes, and it felt fresh. It felt different from the other anime. Like, even though I'm not really basing this off of other stuff, just basing off of the series itself, it just felt fresh in general. So I gotta put it right there. Nobody really gonna debate this one. Soul Society is obviously one of the best arcs, like, of all time in anime, because it was like you just throw a bunch of underdogs. Like, it was like kind of like the whole Namek arc. You just throw all these humans and other characters they couldn't even deal with the Saiyans. You throw them on a place higher than Saiyan level with Frieza squad. Like, who killed the Saiyans? You feel me? I like that idea. It was a good concept, well done, everything. I separated Waco Mundo from Katakura Town and the fake Katakura Town. The Waco Mundo junk was goated. This junk was good, and this junk was goated. Only good junk here was like Toshin stuff and a couple other characters. Wonder Wise, I mean, I guess we saw Yamamoto do something, but barely. It had a lot of good junk going on, but I wouldn't put it in perfect. I don't want to put this in Fairy Tail tier, but I think because it was that one fight at the end that was good. I don't even think I explained Dressrosa, but same thing with Dressrosa. It was that one fight at the end that carried it to where it's at, basically. Other than that, the whole arc was just Dookie and the Blood War. This is another one of the ones that was just good in the beginning and then good at the end, but it was like a long middle period of Dragon, Impel Down, and One Piece. Which other ones on here? Pain arc. I mean, it was that middle junk that I hate, that just drags out of arc waiting for the main character to do something. That junk was a long span of time. But this is my list. Ain't nothing really more to be said. Debated in the comments. I want to see how many numbers we got. 3 Naruto arcs, 3 Dragon Ball Z arcs, 4 One Piece arcs, and 3 Bleach arcs. Didn't expect for it to be a season. And no, I didn't just cheat this one up here. Like, I actually just wanted to use the manga version just because it was the better version. And I originally read this one in the manga. Some of these I did, like One Piece, Whole Cake Island, and Wano I'm reading in the manga. Even though Wano ain't done, it's been enough. It's enough to talk about it. But yeah, I got the hiccups. I'm done. Dookie. Honestly, would call this Dookie if it wasn't for that cold fight at the end. That carried it right there, but it's pretty Dookie. But yeah, I'm out, bro.